Thank you for providing that context and detail. So we'll now move on to item I2, approval of resolution 23, 2013-14, authorizing the superintendent to sign a joint occupancy agreement, the JOA, with the city of Emeryville. We're just going to handle this particular item first.
Yes, President Dyson, school board members, the purpose of this is to consider approval of this resolution authorizing myself as superintendent to sign the JOA with the city of Emeryville. We do have Mr. Traber in the audience who, if you have any questions, can come up and respond to this or any of the other discussion items as well.
And I will note these are all, let's see, 2 through 5 are all items we discussed at our previous special meeting last Wednesday, which is helpful that this concludes our second reading. Any questions regarding this particular resolution? Board members? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
All right, any public comment on this particular item? Item 2 specifically.
Yeah, hi. I'm glad to see you going forward with the agreement. I was really impressed with the, this would be on the term contract. But the only thing is I think, you know, the document says that the agreement will be approved concurrently with the city, and it should have been done at a joint meeting. I don't think it should be done at a separate meeting. You're entering a partnership, and you should be doing it together, and you should be approving it at the same time. That's the only thing I have to say about it. Thank you.
Good highlight.
Well, I will say this. This is definitely a milestone to this project. I mean, basically, this project wouldn't able to exist via the Assembly Bill 1080 if we did not have this agreement. So I think it's really the spirit of the intent of what the Emeryville Center of Community Life was all about, to bring a more quality services to the city of Emeryville, and to, you know, improve the quality of education for our students. So, you know, I want to applaud the board once we approve this, if we approve it.
Well, that's just
but
a signature.
but I also, you know, just like to appreciate the legal team, who really, you know, the more I read this, the more, you know, I really identified this being a pretty phenomenal piece of document. So I definitely want to, you know, thank our legal team for putting this together. It's a very good document, and I can even see it being used throughout the state for other, you know, city and school districts who would like to form a partnership such as ours here. So I think this is a document that will be used, you know, for the ages. So I just want to say kudos to our legal team, and as well to the city attorney for the city team as well.
Any other comments? Any other public comments? Any other comments to Resolution 23, 2013-14? All right. Can I have a motion to adopt or approve the resolution?
I move that we approve the resolution 23, 2013-14, authorizing the superintendent to sign the joint occupancy agreement with the city of Emeryville.
Wow, that's amazing. Is there a second?
I will gladly second.
Awesome. Any objections to this? Ms. Emery, can I have a roll call, please?
Member Pats?
Yes.
Member Ash?
Yes.
President Dice?
Yes.
Member DeWin?
Yes.
Wow, that was like a first one step. One part. One's done.
One down.
One's done. All right, so we'll keep things moving. We're going to now go on to item 3, joint occupancy agreement with the city of Emeryville for the ECCL project. And I echo our public comment related to concurrent, but being in partnership, being together, that's a good next time. Definitely next time. Next time. Next time. So we'll now have Dr. Rubio.
President Dyson, board members, the purpose of this resolution is to consider approval of the joint occupancy agreement with the city of Emeryville under the terms and conditions as defined in the enclosed agreement. And I would add that there is also some new staff here who's going to be helping us from Swinnerton. And Nimone Lee Hardesty is here, and so we appreciate Swinnerton being here. As Mr. Baker is out of town, and we have our architects and construction representatives and legal with us, and Mr. Bonet, who will all be with us as well Wednesday evening, just as an aside at the City Council meeting.
All right, great. Any board comments to this particular one? I don't know if there's an echo.
You know, I do have a question, a couple of questions for the contractor, Turner. You know, in the spirit of this whole project, when we actually passed the Measure J to build this project, we made actually two, I would say, covenants to the community. One would be the enrichment of education, of our educational performance, and two would be the enhancement of our regional economy. And meaning that, you know, we wanted to make sure that local businesses in this community would be really able to benefit from this project that would boost our economy regionally. So I guess within the contract, it does have a clause of reporting back to the board of the particular, you know, of the activities that will be going on with the project, as well as updating the board, as well as the City Council with the community benefit agreement. So my question would be, what is the process, or what would be the process for updating the board on the activities and the progression of the community benefit agreement?
Well, we'll work with Swinnerton, John Baker. We're going to produce a monthly budget report which will update all of the local business participation. Mm-hmm. In addition to
Can you
that,
talk into the mic, please?
Okay. We'll be doing a monthly budget report which will update all local business participation. In addition to that, we will be using a labor tracking software, Relation Systems, which we can filter worker payroll by zip code, mm-hmm. and therefore get reports on the local hire.
Okay.
Now, we'll be doing that monthly. We'll be doing a written report quarterly to
Okay.
you as well.
Okay.
So
Will the written report be a presentation, or will it just be a written report maybe to Swinnerton and they would just read out on that?
Probably the best thing to do is to submit the report and then come to the board meeting if you have
Right.
questions and
Right.
talk about it.
So this is going to be done on a quarterly basis?
Yes.
Now, would this be for the board? Now, what about the city school as far as the, you know, updating the city as well?
Sure. I mean, however you want to run the public forums, we'll
Okay.
participate.
Okay. Okay. Now, so via the CBA, the Community Benefit Agreement, you know, you're obligated to, I believe, bring on about 10 local subcontractors?
It's by percentage of the contract volume,
Okay.
and you know, a target would be about 30%. Currently, we're running about 45%
Okay.
local
Great.
business.
Great. Great.
Just so you know, in terms of our outreach, we went out to 150 community-based organizations
Okay.
locally
Okay.
who represent minority business owners, women business owners, local
That's what I
businesses,
wanna
et
hear.
cetera, to get the word out about the project and solicit participation.
Okay.
In addition to that, our purchasing department focused on the local pool that we knew existed
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that they participated in the pricing process.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. So, and when we say local, we're talking Green Corridor, Alameda County?
it's Green Corridor. There's a local impact area focus, which is 2 zip codes in Berkeley, Emeryville, and 2 zip codes in Oakland.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask the other question within the CBA as far as the bond assisting workshop. Would that workshop take place before this the subcontractor bidding?
That's not needed because we're not going to require bonds from subcontractors.
Okay. Great. All right. Cool. And what about our student internship?
Well, as you may know, Jabril has been working in our office for the last year.
Right.
He helped us actually quite a bit in
Right.
putting together this GMP.
Okay.
Hopefully he learned a lot in the process.
All right.
We've actually invited him to come to the city council meeting on Wednesday night if he'd
Okay,
like to
great.
attend.
Okay,
And we'll give him a ride home if he needs a ride
all
home.
right.
So we'll continue. Elena Anaya, who's our community affairs director, will work directly with the school district in identifying internship positions, and if there's science classes or whatever that would like to participate at one level or another in observing and talking to the people on the job site, more than happy to facilitate that as well.
So what is our max for students' internships? Do we have a maximum amount, or?
We don't really have a maximum amount. There's a practical
minimum.
limit,
Right.
just because it's, once we're on the job site, we have some liability issues in
Right.
terms of minors, et cetera. So we've got to just be careful about
Okay.
how we handle
'Cause I
it.
think the contract says a minimum of 3 student internships, something to that
That's
nature?
fine, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. That's good for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and I'll just note from that, the one we have currently, I know has been a phenomenal one for that student
Yes,
to
yes.
participate in the program. So I think even before we've had this, agreement in front of us and executed, you guys have been a true partner in this process and to our students already. So just really appreciate that work. Changing one life is saying a lot. So I think it's pretty awesome. Any other comments or questions regarding the JOA specifically? All right. Any public comment on the JOA item 3? Nothing? All right. So can I get a motion for approval of this one?
I guess I'm just making all the motions. I move that we approve the resolution 24, 2013-14, authorizing.
No, authorize.
Oh, it was so small. Okay. I move that we approve the joint occupancy agreement for with the city of Emeryville for the ECCL project.
Feels good, huh? All right. Any? Do I get a second on that motion?
I will second.
No, we're on item 3, joint occupancy. We did the authorization for signature. Follow me, work with me. You know, it can be a tricky.
Miguel misspoke at the beginning.
It can be tricky here. All right, so get a second on that
Yes.
from Member Ash. Any objections to that motion? And any objections? All right, roll call, please, Ms. Emery.
Member Dwin,
Yes.
President Dice.
Yes.
Member Ash,
Yes.
Member Pats.
Yes.
We have a joint occupancy agreement from the school side. All right, so now we can move
we did
on to item. Yeah, it's okay. You need to use a pen over there. Okay. All right. So we're now on item I4, approval of resolution 24, 2013-14, authorizing the superintendent to sign a leaseback agreement with Turner Construction.
Yes, President Dyson, board members, the purpose of this item is for the board to consider approval to authorize the superintendent to sign a leaseback agreement with Turner Construction.
Any questions from board members? Again, this is also a second reading for us and for consideration this evening.
No,
Anything?
I think I asked my question out of order.
Yeah,
but
you did. I
it's all
caught
right.
that, but I didn't want to send you too far out. All right. Any public comments of this particular item? All right. I'd entertain a motion.
But I just,
Sure.
President Dyson, before you continue, I just would add that there was some conversation, I think, at the last board meeting or questioning about these types of agreements, and I would let you know that I did receive more information from legal counsel that while there has been some lower trial court lawsuits, that none of those have been successful. So all information appears that this is still a very viable and legal structural agreement. I thought I would let the board know.
Thank you, Dr. Rubio. Any questions for Dr. Rubio and the team? All right. No public comments. Well, it's opportunity for a motion. I'll move approval of the construction contract for the ECCL project, construction contract with Turner Construction specifically.
It's just 4 or 5.
This is item, you know what I meant? I did it this time. See, it's your fault, Jim Traber. I did it this time. You know what? It's been a long day. Approval of Resolution 24. So I move approval of Resolution 24, 2013-14, authorizing the superintendent to sign a lease-leaseback agreement with Turner Construction. Any, can I get a second?
A second.
Any objections?
No.
Roll call, please.
Member Pats?
Yes.
Member Ash?
Yes.
President Dice?
Yes.
Member Dwin?
Yes.
And I talked about him having a pen. Okay, now I have a pen. All right, so we're now on to item 5, construction contract for the ECCL project. Dr. Rubio.
Thank you, President Dice and board members. The purpose of this is to consider approval of the proposed contract with Turner Construction for the ECCL project under the terms and conditions as defined in the contract.
All right, any questions on this contract that's in front of you? I know you already asked
Well,
yours.
yeah, I don't have a question, but I do have a statement.
Okay, great.
You know, I just really want to thank Turner for their patience, you know, and their diligence on this project. It has been almost a decade that they have been involved with this district, with this project. They have stayed, you know, true to form. They have not wavered in their commitment to this district and to this project. And I mean, they could have walked a long time ago, but I just want to let them know how appreciative I am, you know, for, you know, them working, you know, and staying, you know, true to this project along with our architects. You guys have been phenomenal, and I just want to thank you all for your patience, you know, and your time that you've put in. That's it.
Other board member comments? Please.
It's been a long ride.
I'm good.
Look, you know, they're like, she's gonna go. Those tears are coming.
I would just, I just would,
Joy wants to make a
No,
comment.
no, no. I'm sure if everybody can see my face, they know how happy I am. So I'm just going to sit here beaming. This
I
is a
would-
big day.
I would just like to add, if you don't mind, that I'm very proud to be here as the new superintendent and to be part of this partnership and this process. I would echo the thank yous and say I'm kind of glad I wasn't here throughout the years, but I'm very glad to be here now with the architects, the construction firm, with the management company, Swinnerton, internal staff, Mr. Bonet, and everyone, and legal who have helped with this. And as well as I want to say thank you to the city staff who worked so hard on this, and the city attorney. And really thank you in advance to the City Council for their ongoing conversations and considerations of our partnership.
Oh yeah, I was coming to you. I'll hold mine till after. Please, Mr. Bukowski.
Okay, yeah. Well, it certainly has been a long road, and all of you haven't been here since the whole road started, but this started out as a $270 million contract. You know, we were going to take AC Transit and do a lot of things that didn't really happen. So I'm glad we'll reach this point. And I really think Swinnerton's done a great job since they've been on board. And getting the price of this contract lowered from the $59.9, that's really an accomplishment there. I mean, Swinnerton almost paid their way by doing that, and I think it's great. So please approve this, and thank you.
Done with it. All right, thank you. Any other public comments? Yeah. So I was just going to echo all the comments before and note that I think even as a board member pretty new to this project when I started many moons ago, I've transformed since then myself. So I understand how long it's been, but I think it's a powerful project that I do hope to see during my tenure as a board member completed and done in such a way. And I think where previous former board member Simons would say this all speaks to a physical location, but the work of what we've talked about is still an ongoing task and remains, you know, I'm incredibly optimistic about what outcomes that are incredibly positive for every child in this community, in this area, that will essentially walk through these buildings. I think it's amazing. So, and one day there may be other little people we know one day that go through this building. So we're little people go through. So I think it's a wonderful project, and I've been deeply moved by it, and that much more committed to community schools. I think it's phenomenal what this city and school district have accomplished by getting to this point. So with that, I'll just ask for a motion on item 5, construction contract for the ECCL project.
I'll move that we approve the leaseback agreement construction contract with Turner Construction for the ECCL project.
All right, still have a second.
Put that on record, it was me.
Absolutely. I will second.
Any objections to that motion? Roll call, please, Ms. Emery.
Member Dwin?
Yes.
President Dice?
Yes.
Member Ash?
Yes.
Member Pats?
Yes.
Wow. So as we go along to our sparkling apple cider, I'm just kidding. I didn't bring any, but I did not bring any. But with that, the meeting is actually adjourned. So thank you.
Thank you. Good job, gang. The community will be